Hey there. Subscribe to my channel. And also press this bell icon, so you never miss any new updates, cause whenever we upload new video you will get a notification on your phone.
This question comes from subscriber James, who wants to know, Ben, assuming Trump keeps on this similar trajectory to his first 2 years, are you planning to vote for Trump in 2020?
Yeah, it'd be hard not to vote for him if he continues on similar trajectory. And I've said this before. I had three chief concerns with President Trump when he was candidate Trump. One is that he would not govern conservative because he had said a bunch of crap all over the place. There was no guarantee of where he was going to be.
Yep.
That has been alleviated. He's governed extraordinarily conservatively. Problem number two I had with him is that he was going to soul-suck the Republican Party and drive them to embrace positions and ideas that I found abominable. Some of that has happened, but it's already happened, and it's not going to be alleviated again by me not voting for him, because what's happened has happened, and now we're already there. So it's a little bit like, okay, now the car's in the river, now what do you do, right? It's not the same thing.
And in fairness, that has been far less severe, I think, than
for sure. Yeah. So I was worried that the entire party was suddenly going to embrace tariffs, and the entire party was going to suddenly embrace the idea of being soft on Russia, take the worst aspects of his rhetoric and then apply those broadly. Yeah. And I don't think that that's been the case among most Republicans. In fact, I think most Republicans correctly see Trump as more of a vehicle for policy priorities than as a thought leader, which makes sense because thought leaders need to have thoughts. So that always, really, especially polls of young people show that this is not how young people think. So that's been alleviated. And then concern number three is the one that's still very much on the table, and that is the toxification of the Republican brand by President Trump with growing demographic groups in the United States. It's obviously true with women. It's not quite as obviously true with black folks and Hispanics.
The opposite might be true.
Yeah. Well, it might be, although the evidence there is kind of skimpy. But at the very least, it's not really... The question is it deepening damage that already existed with those groups? Maybe, maybe not. With women, it certainly is, and with young people. Young people do not like President Trump. I mean, this is just a fact. Like, millennial generation folks are not fans of President Trump. Every poll of millennials ever shows that Trump runs very, very poorly among millennials. Again, the question is the damage already done? And the answer there is kind of yes. I mean, he's president of the United States. If I withhold my vote, I don't understand how that's actually changing that, especially when I'm standing out here critiquing all the same stuff that other millennials are critiquing, right? I'm sitting here saying it's actually bad when he says that women are horse faces. It's kind of bad when guys shtup porn stars while they're married. It's gross and yucky. And I've said before, he treats women like garbage because he does treat women like garbage. Like, we all know this. This is not a big shock. But is any of that... so the calculus has changed. I'm always happy to change my actions based on the evidence that has changed, and several pieces of evidence has changed. His governance has changed, and there's a difference between him being a candidate and doing stuff and being president, and that stuff now being set in stone, and the ground itself has changed. The ground itself has shifted. So I'd be surprised. He'd have to do some more egregious stuff for me to consider not voting for him in 2020.
Just to answer your question, what do you do once the car is in the water? You go home and change your clothes to establish an alibi.
Then 8 hours later.